Hey, Buff Nation, voice of the bus, Mark Johnson here. This week in the Buffalo Stampede, we're talking men's basketball, big sweep of the Bay Area schools. We're going to hook up with a couple of players, Luke O'Brien and Nick Clifford. What a weekend for the CU women as they get 2 wins on the road against the Oregon schools. We talked to J.R. Payne out here at Corelli's of Boulder. We're out here Monday nights from 7 until 8 o'clock for Buff's Prime Time. And also, speaking of Prime Time, we're talking to Coach Prime and watch his conversation with Buff's great fan, Peggy Copham. All this week on the Buffalo Stampede. Push-up court right to left. Give to O'Brien to the rim, and he tomahawks with the right hand. Oh, was that explosive by Luke O'Brien? He leaps, he flies, he jams. Luke O'Brien with a big dunk against the Cal Golden Bears. Buffaloes get the sweep over the Bay Area schools here at the Event Center. Everybody, welcome to Buffalo Stampede. Voice of the bus, Mark Johnson. Here's the high flyer right here out of Columbine High School. A nice weekend for Colorado, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, winning 2 games against the Bay Area schools is, you know, you got to love it. And we got a, 2-game win streak going into Utah, so it's perfect.
Let's go back to the first half against Cal, however, okay? Boy, the offense was not there in that ballgame, was it? That was, you had guys had to grind it one out. It was good that you played so well defensively in that first half.
Oh, absolutely. And we preach defense, rebounding every single day, obviously. And our offense has really been struggling. I mean, everybody's seen it, the past couple games. But, we locked in defensively. We guarded our matchups. We did our thing. And at halftime, coach was like, hey, we're right there. Our defensively, like, we've done what we needed to do. And we came out in the second half and got the win. So.
Yeah, the offense got a little bit better, but the defense, once again, was spectacular in that ballgame. You hold a team to 46 points in a game. And by the way, you've held 3 teams to 46 or less this season. Yeah. That's great defense in a college game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially again, we did it against Oregon State, 2, good teams that are offensively gifted. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see that. I thought I saw a stat before this game was we were like 19th in defensive efficiency. So, we just got to keep building on that. That's just huge for us.
Buffalo's number 2 in scoring defense, in fact, in the Pac-12. You think at this point, I mean, you're a junior, you're an upperclassman now. You feel comfortable, kind of your role and what part you have in this team?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, being a junior, I'm a leader now at this point. I know me, Tristan, and Nick are the most experienced guys at CU. And, I just want to make sure I do that for my team. Whatever I have to do, communicate on defense, get rebounds like I've been doing. So just whatever I got to do is just getting me more comfortable. So.
One thing that Luke has to do, being that he's so versatile. I mean, you're 6'8", you're a big, strong guy. You can play in the perimeter, but you get asked a lot to go in there and kind of tangle with the big boys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love the weight room though. I know from day one, me and Steve got along right away because I just love going into the weight room.
You're the only one that's ever gotten along with Steve, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I know. Like in the summer this year, I had like I benched 305 or something. So like Steve was just like, hey man, you got to go in there and then battle with those guys. And I love it. I used to play football, so I know the physicality. I know what I got to do. So it's fun for me. I love it.
He's playing very good basketball right now. The Buffaloes are playing very good basketball as well. After the victory over Cal, we heard from head coach Tad Boyle. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Well, it's nice to get on the, the win column again. Wasn't easy. Nothing's easy for this team, and I thought, I talked to our team at halftime about the fact that we shot 25% in the first half. Had some good looks, turned it over 10 times, which again is kind of sometimes who we are. But you shoot 25% and you're down 3 at half. It means you're doing something right. It means you're really battling and fighting and scratching and clawing. We did a good job of that, I thought, in the first half. We didn't let our frustrations on offense leak over to our energy and execution on defense. And that's a sign of maturity. It's a sign of mental toughness. When our team doesn't do what they're supposed to do, I get on them. And when they do what they're supposed to do, I gotta praise them. And so, to me, my hat goes off to our guys tonight for not letting the offensive frustrations, especially in the first half, leak over to defense. And I thought for the most part, we had some bonehead plays late in the game where we gave them some easy buckets. But for the most part, we executed the defensive game plan pretty darn well tonight.
There's the head coach after the Buffaloes get the victory over the Cal Golden Bears. We continue with Luke O'Brien, now junior for the Colorado Buffaloes. Then on Sunday they came back, got a 22-point win over Stanford. Okay, the game's even at the half, tied at 39. I think in the first half, it's safe to say it was great offense. It wasn't necessarily bad defense, but both teams were playing at a very high level offensively, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's a little funny because, you know, against Cal in the first half, we played really good defensively.
Yeah.
And, you know, at half, we're like, hey, guys, like, our offense is good now, so now we just got to get stopped. So it was just kind of like, you know, just the opposite of what we had to do when we came out, and we got 11 stops in a row, and it was perfect.
All right, here's an odd number for Luke O'Brien, all right? Against Stanford, he's 6 of 6 from downtown. What is it against? Are you like a bull that sees a red cape, or what is it? You see red, you can shoot well?
I have no idea. I mean, they just look good. The first one looked really good. But to be honest, I mean, the day before, I knew Vaughn, you know, was out for the season, and I had to know, like, I had to step up offensively. I know my defense has been good, but I haven't been scoring that well. So, you know, last night I got into the gym, just kept shooting, and then produced.
When you hit one early, is that a good sign for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Gives you confidence?
It gives me so much confidence, and I'm like, okay, now I can shoot the next one, and I make that one. I'm like, okay, yeah, now I'm on a roll and stuff. So, yeah, no, the first one is huge for me. So.
You know, Tristan Da Silva is playing at such a high level right now.
That's my guy, yeah.
Talk about the way that, I mean, right now, he's playing as well as anybody maybe in the country.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's a Pac-12 Player of the Year candidate, I think. I mean, yeah, no, he does so much for our team. Rebounds, you know, obviously his offense is just so gifted, but, you know, his communication in the locker room is huge. People don't see it, obviously, because not on the court, but I think that's one of his best qualities is just being a leader, and he's gotten us going. So, yeah, he's huge for us.
You mentioned Javon being out. Vaughn went down with a broken finger against Cal. He's done for the season.
Yeah.
That now relies upon all of you guys to lift all of your game. Everyone's got to grab a rebound or two more, get an extra bucket, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, Vaughn's huge for us. I mean, he was our leading rebounder. He played so tough, and yeah, everybody's just got to step up at this point. So we're gonna miss him, but, you know, it's next man up.
Hey, by the way, on Saturday you play another team wearing red.
Yeah.
Okay? Be thinking about that when you're shooting.
Okay,
out
I
there.
will.
All right, Luke O'Brien Jr. for the Colorado Buffaloes as they get a sweep this weekend over the Bay Area schools on the road at Utah on Saturday. Back in a moment here on the Buffalo Stampede. Jones under the bucket, goes up strong through contact, off the left side, right, spins, plays it on the short corner, KJ. Bounces under the bucket, caught by Ruffin. Reverse layup is up and good. That was nice offense right there. Well, there's some highlights for the Colorado Buffaloes. 22-point win as they knock off Stanford. Huge second half for the Buffs as they sweep the Bay Area schools back into Stampede. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, Nate Clifford joining us out of Colorado Springs. Pretty good weekend, right?
Yes, sir. We got 2 wins, got back on track. We just got to keep stringing them together.
Hey, let's go back to the Cal game here for a minute or two. The offense was struggling in that first half.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, the good news was you played so well on the defensive end.
Right.
Still was a close game at halftime, right?
Yep. It totally was the opposite this game.
Of this one, right?
Yeah, so the Cal game, we were struggling offensively, got going with our defense. This game, we struggled defensively in the first half. Our offense was good tonight. So when we are able to combine the two, it's gonna be pretty special.
Well, we saw in the second half against Stanford.
Yeah.
When this offense isn't clicking, there's so much talent in this team. It's a little bit perplexing, isn't it? Why all of a sudden it sputters a little bit.
Right. Yeah, no, our team is very well balanced. We got a lot of guys that can score in many different ways. So when we play together, it's pretty special.
Is offense contagious when the ball starts going in, when you guys see the ball going? Does it, you know, sometimes they talk about in baseball, one guy starts hitting, everybody starts hitting. Can that happen in basketball?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would say our Texas A&M game was a great example of that. A lot of dudes were making shots. So in those type of games, you don't have to worry about defense as much because the ball is falling. But we always got to rely on our defense. That's going to help us win a lot of games. But it definitely helps when the ball is falling.
Yeah, everything looks good, right? When the ball's going in, all of a sudden everything looks good. But the way you guys play defense, you're number 2 in the Pac-12, and you know, I think scoring defense, maybe number 4 or 5 in field goal percentage defense. But that's one thing you guys are able to rely upon. As much as Ted talks about it, and he always jokes, people get sick and tired of hearing it. There's a truism there, isn't there?
Most definitely. Defense wins championships. It's the saying, and it's very true. The best teams, the best defensive teams are the ones you always see at the end of the year. In the championships, NBA, March Madness, all of them. So defense is what we focus on.
Well, the Colorado Buffaloes get the sweep as they take care of Cal in a close one, then blow out Stanford. After the Stanford game, we heard from head coach Tad Boyle. Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud.
Boy, what a great win for our program at this stage of the season and where we're at and what we need right now. I didn't know what to expect coming to the gym today. If we were going to be ready to play. Stanford's been on a roll, won 5 straight. We've had a couple good practices, obviously being down Javon Hadley, being a little thin up front, playing against a Stanford team that's big and strong, and they've been holding their opponents to 36% field goal percentage defense the last 5 games. Been out rebounding them. And boy, tonight we just, our it was a tale of 2 halves. Our offense in the first half was really good, scored 39 points. But our defense wasn't great, and then we kind of flipped that switch. I think we had 11 stops out of halftime, and went on like a 16-0 run. That was just absolutely huge. I mean, to come out of halftime like that, and it's a good win against a quality team.
There's head coach Tad Boyle after the Buffaloes win by 22. Well, it was plus 22 in the second half as we continue into Stampede with Nick Clifford. That must have been one heck of a halftime speech you gave you guys.
Yeah, no, we definitely got into the locker room, talked amongst each other, and just talked about how our defense was lacking. We had to get our defense going, and we came out in the second half and turned things around. Definitely, coach, that's something he focused on as well.
In the first half, both teams shot over 50%. Like Stanford was at 58, the Buffs were at 54. Was that a case of just great offense out there? Because I think the defense was awful, but both teams are playing very high-level offense, weren't you?
No, their offense was moving very fast, and they were playing well offensively. Partially, it was on us though. Some breakdowns that we shouldn't have, but definitely give credit to them for their offense.
But you never expect to come out and go 16-0 to start a half, do you?
No, that's not what we expect, but it's definitely nice when we do.
Yeah, without question. The way Tristan's playing right now, he's playing such a high level. What's your view of him? I mean, you guys came in together. You're a junior, he's a junior. What do you see when you're watching him play right now?
Tristan he's a very talented player. Yeah. He could do everything. He's a 3-level scorer. He can defend. He's 6'10", can play like 2 through 4, even 5. I think Tristan is an NBA player. Yeah. Super talented, skilled. I'm just happy for him, and we need him to keep playing the way he is. He's a great leader for our team, and it's really great to see him balling.
One thing I've always loved, following Tad Boyle and broadcasting the games for the Buffaloes, Tad's team always seemed to find themselves. They're playing their best basketball in February. Can this team be one of those teams?
I think so. We've had our struggles throughout the season, but we've just focused, tried to get better every day at practice, and don't lose hope. Any team could lose on any given night. Yep. So we just got to keep stringing these wins together, like I was saying, and get back to the drawing boards and get ready for our next opponent.
Well, if these guys make a run, this guy's going to be a big, big part of it. It's Nick Clifford. He and the Buffaloes get the sweep over the Bay Area schools here at the Event Center. Now with Utah coming up on Saturday, get a couple of days off back in the practice court, and then Saturday play in Salt Lake City. We'll take a time out here at the Buffalo Stampede. When we come back, speaking of red hot, CU women are playing fantastic basketball. We'll talk women's hoops next.
Opportunity. Sherrod wide open, gives it to Foreman, and she hits it this time.
Well, there's some great highlights as the Colorado women go on the road and sweep the Oregon schools. Their first wins ever in Eugene and Corvallis. Buffaloes dominating in that second game against the Beavers. Improved to 18-5 in the season, back in the top 25 of college women's basketball. Back here in the Buffalo Stampede, voice of the bus, Mark Johnson. Out here, Corelli's, Monday nights from 7 until 8 o'clock. We're out here, and we sat down and talked about a great weekend with head coach J.R. Payne.
Hey, J.R. Payne's here, top 25 coach, by the way, for your Buffaloes. Man, oh man, she walks in tonight. Place goes crazy here.
Well, I don't play a single minute. It's our players. They're doing all the hard work.
Great wins though. The Buffaloes on Friday night go into Eugene to knock off the Ducks, 63-53, and then knock off Oregon State yesterday, 67-48. Defense is fantastic. Just the second win you've had at Oregon State, is that right?
The first
win.
So Friday night at Oregon, first time we'd ever won at Oregon.
Okay.
Then Sunday, first time we'd ever won in Corvallis. So
great weekend.
It was a great weekend, yeah.
And yesterday, I mean, Jerry, that win over the Beavers yesterday, that was dominating.
It was awesome. I will say I've never seen a start to a game like we did yesterday.
What were you, plus 15, I think, at the end of one quarter, I think?
Yeah, at least. I mean, we came out, I think they scored the first bucket, and then I think we went on like a 20-0 run. It was awesome. Yeah. Coach got a technical, called a timeout. We had them all in disarray. It was great.
This team right now is playing so well. It's got to be.
Everybody knock on wood.
Exactly.
Real
Knock
quick.
on wood.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Right. But you got to have a blast just coaching this team right now the way they're playing.
It has been really fun. In fact, some games, sometimes you win and after I'm like, that was just so exhausting.
Yeah.
And yesterday the first thing I said was, man, that was fun. And it's fun, of course, to win, but it's also fun to love your team and to see them thriving, like not just winning, but like they're thriving. They're playing great basketball.
That is, I think, a sign. At the beginning of the year, we knew this team was talented. Okay, you knew that. But that doesn't always guarantee success.
Right.
Right?
Right.
This team has to have buy-in. They've got to understand system. They got to be sacrificial. Are you seeing all those kind of things?
Everything you just said. I mean, we have incredible young women on the floor. Like, they are great teammates. They're great people. They celebrate, like genuinely celebrate each other's success, and they just want to win. And so we're seeing that, almost on a daily basis, just competitive spirit, good, hard practices. Like, they just really want to win.
Your 2-point guards played very well yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, they've been exceptional. I mean, Kendall Wetta's just a sophomore, and she plays with the headiness of a true veteran, like a senior point guard. And Jalen is a senior point guard. She's playing like that. Jalen's stat line yesterday was incredible. I think 15 assists, 50% from the floor, 7 steals, 7 assists, 1 turnover. I mean, truly like leading this ball club.
In college basketball, I've always said, is a guard game, right? Yeah. It really is. And so when you've got that happening, I mean, that's an enormous step in the right direction in and of itself.
Yeah, and not just the play, but the leadership and the accountability. The other day, we told those two, because they guard each other every day, and they're our 2 most competitive players. And we said, you guys need to guard somebody else. Like, they're giving each other these incredible reps, and they're getting after it. And we're like, you need to guard somebody else and pull somebody else along. So, they've been awesome.
But with that, they're making each other better.
Right, yeah. And so it's hard to keep either one of them off the floor for very long.
I mentioned mid-season honors for Quinn Miller. She came out as one of the finalists for the Leslie.
Lisa Leslie.
Lisa Leslie.
Yeah. I mean, so Quay is one of the most humble young women. She didn't even want to talk about it. I heard the announcers asking her about it. Right. And she said, I'm just blessed to be a part of, the team. And that's genuinely how she feels. But she really is one of the best power forwards in the country. She's awesome.
You're sitting at 3rd right now in this conference.
Yep.
And you're right there, and you've got an opportunity down the stretch to win yourself a championship. I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah, no, that's the goal. I mean, we just want to win out. Like, on Friday night, we just got to go 1-0. That's it. Play great basketball, win the game, catch your breath, move on to the next one. Try to do it again Sunday.
18-5 right now, the Buffaloes. All right, you got the Washington schools coming to town. Help me out. Is Wazoo first and then you?
Yeah, Washington State Friday night, and they, I think, were picked 2nd in the conference. Their best player, who's one of the best guards in the country, led the conference in scoring as a freshman. Incredible, was not there the first game that we played them, and she was back home in New Zealand with some family stuff. So she'll be back. So they're a different team, really dangerous team. And then Washington just beat number 2 Stanford yesterday. So also talk about a dangerous team. So a huge weekend for us.
Big weekend. This is a fun basketball team. Congratulations. Let's win a championship. I think we should.
Let's do it.
I think we should. Everyone here would like it.
Well, there's the head coach, J.R. Payne, as we chatted with her on Buffs Prime Time here at Corelli's on Monday nights from 7 until 8 o'clock. See you women this weekend. Back at home, they've got the Washington schools. Wazoo on Friday night, UW on Sunday at the Event Center. Coming up next year in the Stampede, we're always talking Coach Prime and had a great signing day.
Recruiting staff recruited over 150 schools, putting this magnificent class together. In December, in 5 days, the staff recruited 9 states ahead of the early signing period on the 15th. In January, in 10 days, the staff visited 19 states. Signing class newcomers, 42 new scholarship players to date, which is incredible. 29 are already enrolled in the spring. Newcomers from 16 different states and 2 countries, which is awesome. 16 states is the most in CU's history. These guys were recruited with a purpose. Our handprints are all over them. We feel like those are the guys that we wanted and we went and got, we secured. Now we need to see everything that we desire to see.
Well, there's some highlights from the signing day press conference with Coach Prime as the Buffs have the 21st rated recruiting class in college football. What a great way to start in his first couple of months here at the University of Colorado. Of course, the head coach also had a big signing day event at St. Julian. A lot of fun there. A lot of Buffs fans came out to hear us chat with the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, last week we showed you, by the way, Coach Prime's meeting with Buff legend, one of the twins, Peggy Copham. Right now we're going to show you the second half of that great meeting between Coach Prime and one of the great Buffs fans of all time.
That must be my boyfriend. I can't believe one man has caused all the notoriety that you have caused.
Well, thank you. I'll tell you what.
Every time I turn on the TV, they're showing you.
Well, you got to promise me that you're going to walk out with me for the
I
spring
would love
game.
to walk out with you.
When we kick the ball off in the spring game on television, I need you to walk out. Okay? We're going to walk up like you're going to kick it, then we're going to have our guy come out of nowhere.
Well, you better hold on to me.
I got you. I'm not going to drop you.
I have to lift up one foot, I'm liable to fall over.
Well, remember you were a cheerleader. You still got it.
Well, I'm not. At my age, at 98, I'll tell you what. Dion, I like better than Prime. I like your name, Dion. And I like that name. But, you know, at this age, I don't get around it very well, and my eyesight's starting. I struggle with my eyesight. I struggle with everything, except my mouth, it works good. I can eat and talk, and I sleep good. And I said, God's left me here for something, I guess it's to pray, because I can still do that.
Amen.
I tell everybody, I said, can you believe one person has put Boulder on the map like he has?
There's a couple of them. I think he had a lot to do with it too. Now.
Well, of course. Well, he had a lot of prayers going into that. I told him God answered our prayers. Well, you got God helping you. You can't lose.
That is the God honest truth.
Her name's Dolly.
Come on, Dolly. Come on, Dolly.
Come on, Dolly.
Come on.
Well, I want to meet your mom. I want to meet your whole family.
We're gonna come up for that.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking that time.
Oh, thank you. I'm not gonna bother her. I'm just giving her love, okay? She's gonna be cool.
Anytime anybody hugs me.
I know that's why she's on her game. I like that.
All right, Miss Peggy. Well, we'll see you.
Okay, you come back and have a Pepsi and some pecans.
Let's keep the Pepsi that I'm coming.
And I'll try not to burn the rolls.
No, the rolls was good. Everything was excellent.
We have never left a game early. And with Betty and I always said, if those players have to be out there, sometimes the score was 62-0, but we were there.
She said they have never left the game early. That is loyalty.
Great images there of Coach Prime meeting Peggy Copham, one of the great Buffs fans of all time. Of course, coming up next for Coach Prime and the Buffaloes on the football side is Spring Bowl. That gets underway in the middle of March, culminating with the spring game on April 22nd. That one will be nationally televised. As we put a wrap this week on Buffalo Stampede, don't forget we got men's basketball coming up on Saturday. Buffs in Salt Lake City to take on Utah. Late ball game, 8 o'clock Mountain Time with the tip-off. We're going to hit the air at 7:30 on the Colorado Basketball Network. As we wrap it up this week at Corelli's, right here Mondays from 7 until 8 o'clock for Buffs Prime Time. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.